This teacher, this psychologist catalogs throughout Ecclesiastes, catalogs several of the ways that he tried to find meaning on his own, under the sun, without God. And one of those places he looked for it was work. When we hear the word workaholic, we typically think of the corporate suit who spends 90 hours a week at the office. We think of someone who can't enjoy any other facet of life because they're so obsessed by their careers. And since that typically doesn't describe most of us, we think we're not guilty of workaholism. But workaholism is much deeper than that, and it really affects us all. In an article I read a couple years ago, published in the Huffington Post, the article was entitled, "Busyness is a Sickness." And the writer said this: "In America, we are defined by what we do, our careers, what we produce. It's the first question asked at parties, and often the first tidbit of information we share with strangers. The implication is that if I am not busy doing something, producing something, I am somehow less than, not worthy, or at least worth less than someone who is producing something." Think about the word busy for a minute, okay? Over the past decade or so, maybe a little bit longer, the response to the question, "How are you doing?" has changed definitively from fine to busy. I'm busy. We're busy. Me, you, everyone we know is busy, and we're not just saying that. We are busy. Crazy busy. Busy with our personal lives, busy with work, busy telling people how busy we are, about the busy things that we're doing. We are all, in one way, shape, or form, addicted to productivity. Why? Because worthiness is synonymous with production under the sun. Worthiness is synonymous with production under the sun. The more we can do, the more valuable we are. The busier we are, the more righteous we will be. So however much we may complain about our overbooked schedules, exhaustion has become a symbol of virtue. It's actually become a symbol of righteousness. So much so that to take a break is unrighteous. To sort of go, I'm not working today. I'm taking a break. I'm shutting it down. I'm shutting it off. It's almost embarrassing to admit that to people. It's almost embarrassing. It seems so unrighteous. There is a level of shame attached to rest, unplugging, not talking about work, not doing work. Did you know that and I just found this out a couple weeks ago, did you know that our country leads the world in unused vacation days? Okay? Leads the world. To take a vacation is unrighteous. To not be constantly talking about work, doing work, what's happening at work, what we're producing at work, talking about our careers, our productivity. All of that stuff it's unrighteous to not be showcasing our productivity. To work and to work nonstop is righteous in our culture. This is one of the many reasons why I'm not terribly worried when people complain that preaching grace promotes laziness, which isn't true, by the way. But given our cultural proclivity toward overworking, a little laziness might not be a bad thing, to be honest with you. Shutting it down, unplugging, taking a break, resting, dare I say, sleeping in if you can. We look at those things as being so unrighteous. Don't misunderstand me. Work is good. Working hard is good. Work is something God created. There's some confusion with some church people who assume that work is something bad, that it's something we have to do here and now because of sin, but that's not true. Before sin entered into this world, Genesis chapter 2, verse 15 says plainly, the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and to keep it. God is not against work. God himself works. God himself took a break from working. After creating for 6 days, he took a day off. So God is not against work. God himself works. But we are told in Genesis chapter 3 that as a result of sin, work will now be hard and frustrating. Why? Why is it that sin so distorts the whole notion of work that from this point forward, it's now going to be hard and frustrating? Why? Because the constant temptation now under the sun is to look to our work rather than to God for things like worth, security, purpose, none of which it can deliver. You know, you've tried. It might work for a season, it might work for a time, but working hard, producing a lot, ultimately can't deliver what you want it to deliver, what you need it to deliver. Work and performance and accomplishment and success in this sense ends up becoming our God. It becomes what we depend on to save us, to make us feel important, to make us feel like we matter. But the more sacrifices we offer at this altar, the more it demands. For every hour we offer, it demands a day. For every achievement we offer, it demands 2 more. Enough is not in this God's vocabulary. It's never enough. Years ago, one philosopher said that the loneliest moment in life is when you have just accomplished what you thought would deliver the ultimate and it has let you down.